Hello, I'm Regina McCann-Hess, president of Forge Wealth Management, and welcome to our Women in Wealth series. Today, I have an old friend with me, and Anne, can you tell us who you are, what you do, and what you love about what you do?
Absolutely. My name is Anne Stulpin. I'm a vice president at Professional Mortgage Advisors, which is mortgage broker company based out of Media. Just as a quick aside, the difference between a broker and a banker is that when I was a mortgage loan officer for a bank, I represented that bank. When I'm a mortgage loan officer for a broker, I represent up to 14 or 15 different approved lenders, which means that I can go out for my clients and find the best possible program and rate for their individual or unique needs, whatever they are.
Yeah.
I can do the shopping for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big difference. A lot of people don't realize.
It's a huge difference.
Yeah.
It's a huge difference. And I'm very happy to be able to look for my clients to try to find them the best possible thing I can in the marketplace.
Good for you. Good for you.
So what I love about my job is partly that it's part of it's a puzzle. I get to look at their individual needs and find the best program I possibly can. But frankly, I get a lot of joy out of different aspects of my clients. I have a big first-time homebuyer group, and having been a former training director and the daughter and granddaughter of teachers, I like to be able to teach along the way so that my people who are first-time homebuyers can actually understand and be a participant rather than just deer in the headlights, sign the papers type of thing. I also have a large clientele of people buying second homes at the shore. My markets are Pennsylvania, New Jersey, a little bit of Florida. And when they're buying a second home, it's a quality of life issue. And I never want to forget that. They want to do something that's going to increase their quality of life, which is, very important to them. Sadly, I have some people who've had life changes that they need to refinance, perhaps get a soon-to-be ex-spouse off of a deed as they are going through separation and divorce. And I do have a significant amount of people who will do that. So that's where, when we had talked before we started this, when the interest rates are up, the refi market is gone, except for what I see in two areas. One is people who've been working from home remotely have decided that they need an office because their kids are running around and they are home with them also. And the other one is when people go through some major life changes.
Yeah. And like you said, it's been, there's been a lot of activity in the mortgage market over the past several years, but with the interest rates rising, it's slowing that down considerably. But you're always going to have the people having life transitions, life events, whether or not it's divorce, separation, a death, you're going to have that market to still work with, for sure.
Absolutely. And that's part of that gives me actually still, and the day it doesn't bring me joy is the day I quit, but it brings me joy to be able to help people through whatever process it is, whether I'm trying to help them through a transition for something that they didn't want or expect, or if I'm trying to help them get to a home or get to a second home. I do get joy from being able to get people from one step to the next. And that's what makes me happy in my job.
Right. And I know from personal experience and with myself and with a couple other people I know that you've worked with, you're there for the follow-up phone calls. You're there for the, when the rates were coming down, does it make sense to refinance right now? You're not just one and done. You're there for the whole conversation, for the relationship.
I am. I'm very much, just as you are, I'm very much of a relationship manager. I have had some people that have come back to me several times. I've had people who sent their kids or their parents, and that's a source of huge pride for me that people think enough to send their friends and family. Just as in your business, when people send people that are related or important to them, it means a lot.
Yeah, it does. It does, for sure. And then, with I guess like you said, the refis will, be more of those types of people. And I think we were joking before we turned the record button on, like, the rates are a little bit higher right now for mortgages. So for the past couple of years, they've been really low. So the rates that we're at right now seem shocking, but for you and I, we can go back to a time when the current rates are still low compared to what they were 20 years ago.
About a third of what when my husband and I got married and got our first house, we were thrilled to get
Oh my
15.875.
God, it's
I am so
crazy.
totally showing my age with that comment,
I
but
know, I
there
know.
were, they were there. They were there. So we refied once the rates went down, and we actually refied a few times because as the rates went down, we refinanced. And
Yeah.
then it gets in a better position. You know, you get yourself in a better position.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Oh, that's awesome. That's good for you. Love
Yeah.
it, love it. So I know you've been in this profession for a long time. So can you tell me some of the challenges that you have faced as a professional woman?
Um, let's see, some of the challenges, I guess, not to sound the way it's going to sound, so excuse me when I start out, but it's just sometimes people aren't taken as seriously. And I have put 25 years into my career, and I like to say I know what I'm doing. So I think that's the biggest challenge. And I think that happens in any industry, that
Yeah.
there's those that um, may not value as much. But honestly, that's something that's easily surmountable. If you just give me enough time to talk with you, and I'll get through that.
Right. And it also goes to show like the reason you've made a decision to be with the realty, the mortgage broker that you're with now that you explained, it's like you can shop for people versus them only having one option if they go to the local bank. And that means that you're going to do the best you can for them. And, you'll have 6 options or 7 options, whatever it is. You'll be able to look at all those and not just the rate, but the program, like you said, what makes sense for that particular person and their mortgage needs.
Absolutely. I actually kind of laugh sometimes when people call and say, "What's your rate?" Because, and I don't say it, but I almost want to say, "What rate do you want?" Because I can get that rate, perhaps it may cost you, but let's look and see what the best program is for you, and let's see where you fit best, and
Mhm.
let's see what you're buying. Are you buying a single family home, a condo, a second home, an investment property, a co-op? What are you buying? Because that makes a huge difference
Yeah.
in the directions that will go. Are you buying it together with someone? Are you not buying it with someone? And all those factor in. It's not just the rate, like you said, it's the program, and it's the situation that the person is in at the time. Um, I'm doing a loan now for somebody whose position is going to change dramatically after the year, but I can't deal with what's going to happen. I have to deal with what's on paper now. And that's the challenge. That's one of the challenges that we all face, is that I know that this person's situation is changing December 31st slash January 1st, but there's nothing, I have to deal with what I have. And
Right.
that's one of the challenges. But again, there's plenty of programs out there, there's plenty of things out there, and everybody might have just one little niche or a little individual need that one program would absolutely satisfy and one might not.
Yeah, for sure. So if someone were looking to work with someone like you, how do they find you? How do they find out more about what you're doing?
It's real easy. If you wanted to email me, my email address is my first name, ANNE, my last initial S, at pmadvisors.com. And especially, well, I've always worked from home, but with the remote, I'm always near my phone or my laptop. And so if I don't call you back, it's because I'm probably in the settlement, but I always call people back as fast as I can, because I think that's part of people are intimidated. A lot of people are intimidated. A lot of people are afraid of the process. This is the biggest asset that they may be buying. It may be the biggest investment they'll ever make, and it's intimidating.
Yeah.
And when you go to shop it, you'll go to one mortgage person and you'll get one set of fees and programs, and you go to another one that's completely different. It's like going and getting a Ford, a Chevy, a Subaru, and a Lamborghini. Every single fee sheet's going to be different. One of the things I say to people, if you're shopping, that's great. Let me see them and let me explain them to you. One of my clients had a fee sheet that was a quarter of a point lower in interest rate, and when I saw it, there were 2 points in the loan. So actually, my deal was better than that deal.
Oh,
So that's something that I like to take. Let me take a look at it. Let me see, and let me help you through this process. And if I can't do it, I can't do it. But
right.
I'll be brutally honest. But I think I
Right.
can.
Well, and that's why people come back to you. And that,
Thank you.
for their second, their second, third purchase, their refinances, their kids, that's why they come back to you, because you do all that.
One of the nice things though is when people are working with a financial planner like you are, I am a tool for what their financial plan is. I mean, do they want to have their mortgage paid off by the time they retire? Do they want to pull cash out and get that condo in Florida? Are they going through a sad time transition in their life? And that's where I love working with the financial planners, because the financial planners have a great idea of where that person is, but also where that person wants to go. And that's huge. I really do very much value working with partners, and partners, but I mean people that also have an interest in that particular client, a shared interest.
Oh, yeah, 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 definitely. That's good to know. Very good, very good. So I know that you have been very diligent in your career, but let's take a, little time machine and think about the future. What do you see? What's your retirement vision of, your retirement?
So being in this business, I could, I don't have any vision on retiring right now. I just bought a new house.
Right,
Um,
right.
but I'd say in the next 10 years, probably. And then at that point, I hope to be able to, I hope to be able to mentor someone, so that if I have someone returning, then they'll be able to have a continuity of care from, not, if not me, then from somebody that I have mentored.
Oh,
So
that's
that
fabulous.
that would be my plan if in a perfect world.
That's a great way to do it. Just make sure your clients are taken care of, and when you walk away, that they're in good hands.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
fantastic.
take this very seriously. I mean, people, they don't put their lives in my hands. I'm certainly not a doctor, but they put their financial security in my hands, and I take that very seriously. So at the point when I decide it's time for me to slow down or retire, I would like somebody stepping in where I left off, and with the same ideas and values.
Right. Oh, that's a great, outlook for you and for your clients, for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me. This is great to see you again. Haven't spoken to you in a while, so I'm very glad to be reconnected.
I am
Um,
too, and thank you so much for inviting me. It meant a lot to me when you asked me. I really appreciate this.
oh, good. No, happy to, happy to. And then thank everyone else for joining us. We really appreciate your time as well. Again, I'm Regina Hess, or Regina McCann Hess, my full name. My website is forgewealth.com, and I'm on social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Forge Wealth. And on LinkedIn, I'm Regina McCann Hess. Go enjoy your day. Thanks.